Okay, so there's a very long, detailed video already uploaded. I'm going to try to do a shorter version, even though it's still going to be long, all right? So what I want you to do right now is copy down the title, 10.2a. 10.2 has so much information that I broke it up into Part A and Part B, and we're going to spend a couple of days on each section. So 10.2a, we're going to focus in on the a sub nth rule for an arithmetic sequence. Okay, so what is an arithmetic sequence? We should know that it's a list of numbers that has a common difference. So give me any number, guys. 5. All right, so if I have the number, let's say 5, and then 7, and then 9, ... that is an example of an arithmetic sequence, right? What is the common difference?
2.
Yep, the common difference is 2, right? So how do we find the common difference? Just to review, right? Just in case people don't remember that well from yesterday. To find that common difference, you take the number and you subtract the previous one from it. So if I did do 9 take away 7, that is a positive 2, and that's why our common difference is positive 2. Yeah? Now there's other things that we learned. Let's review that as well. If I asked you what is a sub 2, what would you say a sub 2 is? 7, that's right. Again, a sub 2 is just the notation for the second number on your list. Just like a sub 1 is the first number on your list, just like a sub 3 is the third number on your list. Now with this rationale, I could ask you, even though you don't see it, I could ask you for a sub 5. So what would a sub 5 be?
13.
It would be 13, right? Because 5 plus a common difference, 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 2 is 13. So a sub 5 is 13. And that will be a question on the first quiz that we have next week. What if I asked you for a sub 50? We need a shortcut, right? There is no way. I mean, it's pretty easy to go with the calculator. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 2, plus 2. But if you kept doing that with the calculator, you'd have to do it 50 times to get to the 50th number. So we're going to have a shortcut. Here's the shortcut. Let's memorize this a sub nth rule, okay? So right now, write it down in your notebooks. This is the a sub nth rule for any arithmetic sequence, okay? A sub nth rule for any arithmetic sequence. And as you're copying this down, I just want to explain or reiterate a couple of things. We should all know that a sub 1 is really what? First number. Whoop, forgot the T. First number. Okay. And how about, what is that D? Common difference. So those are the notes that we need to memorize today, right now. Now, these notes are going to make it amazingly easy to find the 50th number, the 100th number, the 89th number, any number on your list. So once you copy down the a sub nth rule, let's jot down this first example. I gave you 3 numbers on an arithmetic sequence. The first number is negative 48, then negative 41, then negative 34. And I want you to write the a sub nth rule and then use that rule to find the 50th number. Okay? Now, I'm going to pause it so you guys could copy it, and then we're going to move on with the actual explanation. We're going to work on this together. So as you guys are copying this down, I want to help you memorize this, all right? When we're talking about an arithmetic sequence, you have a common difference, and to get from your first number to the next number, what do? You add that common difference, right? On the previous example that we had a couple of seconds ago, our common difference was 2, so you took that first number 5, added 2, you got 7, added 2, you got 9, added 2, you get to 11. So on any arithmetic sequence, you start with your first number, and a sub 1 is your first number, and what do you do from there? You add. Now, that's why we put a sub 1 plus, and then we got this stuff over here. So hopefully we've had enough time to jot this down. Let me actually start working here. What is our a sub 1 term? A sub 1 is? Negative 48. Okay, that's cool. And how about the common difference? Do we have a common difference?
7.
Is it 7 or is it negative 7 or what is it? Positive 7. Thank you very much. And again, always take a number and subtract the previous number from it. So that's negative 34, take away negative 41. Minus a negative changes to plus plus. So you really have negative 34 plus 41, that is a positive 7. You don't have to check this one because I'm already telling you it's arithmetic, right? Anyway, we have these two bits of information. Let's plug in the 7 right there, the 48 right there, and we will have a machine that produces the list. Check it out. Let me rewrite the whole thing. Starts out with a sub n, there it is, a sub n equals a sub 1, but instead of a sub 1, I'm putting negative 48. We do have a plus sign. We have parenthesis n minus 1 times that common difference d, in this case, 7. Yay? Okay. This is messy. Let's make it look nicer. Let's simplify. How do we simplify? Distributive property and combining like terms. Check it out. 7 times n is 7n. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. Bring down the negative 48 in front, and we have three numbers, or three terms. We're going to combine the first one with the last one. If you owe $48 and you owe $7, you're going to owe $55. And of course, you have that 7n in front, and then the owing of $55, the minus 55 second. Now, yes, I could have written it as negative 55 plus 7n, but it's always better to have your variable term first and your constant at the very end. Anyway, this is the a sub nth rule. A sub n is 7n minus 55. Now, this machine will produce this list. Where did this list come from? It came from this machine. I know it's going to blow your minds right now, right? Check it out. I am going to, like, if I wanted the first number on the list, I already know it's negative 48, right? But this is called a sub 1, right? So a sub n, that means any number you want. If you want the first number, then n will be 1, which means you're going to put a 1 right here where n's at, right? What is 7 times 1? It's 7. What's 7 minus 55? It's negative 48. It gives you the first number. If you wanted the second number, I mean, you already know it's negative 41, but if you wanted the second number, if you wanted the a sub n, because the notation for the second number is a sub 2 anyway, right? So if you wanted a sub 2, you would put a 2 right there. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 take away 55. It'll give you that second number, negative 41. Pretty crazy, right? This machine produces this list. Now, once you have this, it's really easy to find the 50th number. All you have to do is plug in 50. So let me do that. 7 times plugging in 50, and again, the notation would be a sub 50, is plugging in 50. 7 times 50, take away 55. That's 350, take away 55. The 50th number on this list is 295. Amazing, right? I mean, before, look, 15 minutes ago, if I told you, hey, you have to find the 50th number on this list, dang, what would you have to do 15 minutes ago? You'd be like, okay, negative 48 plus 7, plus 7, plus 7, plus 7, plus 7, plus. You'd have to do that 50 times to get to that 50th number, but we could just plug it into the machine and it'll be 295. That's the 50th number on the list. You could find any number. You could find the second number, the third number, the fifth number, the 20th number, the 1000th number, right? Anyway, let's do some more examples. So go ahead and jot this one down. It says, find the 12th term of the arithmetic sequence 9, 16, 23, 30, ... So, yeah, logically, you could be like, okay, what's my common difference? What's 16 take away 9? 7. Okay, so I know that my common difference is 7. And logically, I could go 9 plus 7 is 16. Plus 7 is 23. Plus 7 is 30. And the fifth term would be 30 plus 7, 37. And then the sixth term would be 37 plus 7 is 44. But you know, that gets kind of challenging. With the calculator, it's pretty easy, but you still have to do that 12 times. So what we want to do here is identify the a sub 1, identify common difference, plug it in, boom, we have our machine that will produce this list. So let's begin by finding that machine. Do we know a sub 1? Yes. A sub 1 is 9. Wait a minute. Instead of me explaining, would you guys like to attempt it first? on your own? Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'll explain it right now. Try it on your own right now. Okay, so I'm glad that most of us got that. Let me actually explain it so we could have this recorded. So we have a sub n equals a sub 1. Now we know a sub 1 is that first number 9. So we have a 9 right here. Put the plus, parenthesis, n minus 1 times the common difference, d, in this case 7. Really simple. Distribute the common difference. 7 times n is 7n. 7 times negative 1 is negative 7. Very important that you distribute. Bring down the plus and the 9. You have 3 terms. Out of those 3 terms, you could combine that 9 with the takeaway 7. 9 takeaway 7 is positive 2. And let's write the 7n first. 7n and then the plus 2 second. Does that make sense? Again, 9 take away 7 gives us positive 2. 7n comes down. This is our a sub nth rule. A sub n equals 7n plus 2. This machine produces the entire list. Now let's say you did this and you're like, did I get this right? Yeah, you could ask me, but you know what else you could do? You could actually plug in the number 1 and see if it gives you that first number. If I plug in a 1 right there, 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2, is it 9? Yes, it is. I'm pretty confident that I did this right. You want to feel more confident? You could plug in the number 2 and see if it gives you 16. 7 times 2 is 14. 14 plus 2, hey, that really does give me 16. So at this point, you're pretty absolutely confident that this is right, okay? So now that we know, now that we're confident that this is right, we could find the 12th term. Showing our work here, the notation for the 12th term would be a sub 12. The actual math would be 7 times 12 plus 2. 7 times 12 is 84. 84 plus 2 is 86. So the 12th term on this list is 86. Yay? I hope you guys like it. I love it. It's fun stuff. Now let's take it up a notch. You know what? Let's practice one more. I want to move this out of the way. Let's practice one more before we turn it up a notch. So I want you to, this is an arithmetic sequence. Again, try doing it right now. Find that common difference, find a sub 1, and plug it all into this. Again, this is what you have to have memorized. You know what? Let me organize this better. This is what you have to have memorized. And of course, the a sub 1 is the first number on your list. I want you to find the rule that produces this list, the a sub nth rule. Okay? So, I mean, get the rule that in case I do ask you for the 50th term, you could just plug in 50. Get the rule in case I ask you for the 10th term, you could just plug in 10. And a sub 1 is the first term. That d is the common difference. So once you have those two, plug it in, and you will have your rule after simplifying. So here's the explanation, guys. I know my a sub 1 is the first number on the list. So a sub 1 is actually 5. I know that my common difference is, well, it depends. You got to take a number and subtract the previous number from it. And I always recommend writing it down. Negative 13 minus the 5. Now, what is that? That's negative 18. So the common difference is negative 18. Now, I'm telling you it's arithmetic. If you want, you could double check and go negative 31, take away a negative 13. It'll also be negative 18. So that common difference is negative 18. So we're going to take the 5, the first number on the list, put it here. That negative 18, put it there. And then we're going to distribute and combine like terms, and that will be our a sub nth rule. So here we go. A sub n equals the first number on our list, 5, plus parenthesis n minus 1 times the common difference, which is negative 18. And we are going to distribute and combine like terms to clean it up, right? So negative 18 times n, negative 18n. Negative 18 times negative 1 is a positive 18. We're going to bring down the 5. And out of those 3 terms, we could combine the first one, 5, plus 18, and that is positive 23. So I do have a positive 23, and we have a negative 18n that we write in front of that positive 23. Yes, you could have written it as 23 minus 18n, but it's better to write your term with the variable first and your constant second. Anyways, this is the a sub nth rule, and this is what I asked you to do. Find the a sub nth rule. And now once you have this rule, I could ask you, find the 10th term. All you have to do is plug in a 10. That'd be negative 180 plus 23, and bam, you have the 10th number on your list. I could ask for the 57th term. Plug in 57 right here, do the math. It'll be the 57th number on your list. So I hope that we all understand that. We've done several examples. I do want to turn it up a notch. Here we go. This time, I'm not even going to give you an arithmetic sequence. I mean, there is an arithmetic sequence, but the only thing I'm actually going to give you is that your fifth number is 19. I mean, logically you could, but I don't want you to do that. Like, check this out. Logically, you could say, okay, I don't know my first number, I don't know my second, I don't know my third, I don't know my fourth, but I do know my fifth. My fifth is 19. And I also know that my common difference is 6, so that means that the next one will be 25. And you could go backwards instead of adding 6, subtract 6, subtract 6, subtract 6 to get the a sub 1. But that's not what I want you to do. But what I want you to do is this. Plug in what you know to find out what you don't know. Okay? Plug in what you know to find out what you don't know. So what is it that we know? First of all, let me delete this right here. We know that the D is 6. The common difference is 6. So let's start by plugging that in. A sub n equals, see, I don't know a sub 1. I don't know it. But I do know that common difference, 6. So I have plugged in that so far. What else do they give us? They give us a sub 5. Where do you think I could plug a sub 5 in? I mean, they're giving us this information. I need to plug it in somewhere. Where could I plug in a sub 5? A sub n, right? You guys see, whoops. A sub n, what it really means is any number on the list. And this is saying specifically the fifth number. So I could make this a sub 5. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write that down. A sub 5 instead of a sub n. But instead of rewriting the whole thing, I might as well replace the a sub 5 with the actual value 19. Now, I know you're thinking, well, why the heck did you even bother writing this in the first place, right? Now, the reason why I first put the a sub 5 and then the actual value 19 is so that you could visually see that the n got replaced with the 5. So that kind of means that n equals 5 in this particular case where the fifth number is 19. Now, what does that mean? That means that when I plug in a sub 1, actually, let me do it down here. A sub 1 plus n minus 1. Instead of n, I'm going to plug in a 5 minus 1 times that common difference, 6. Let me pause right there. You guys understand what I just did? Okay. They gave us two things. The 6 is the common difference. There it is. A sub 5 is 19. Where am I going to plug in a sub 5? In place of a sub n. So I first replaced a sub n with a sub 5. And then I actually replaced a sub 5 with 19. Why would I do that? Just so you could see that that n became a 5. That way you could conclude that in this particular case, n equals 5. So right here where the n was at, that n is now a 5. And now we could actually do this math to solve for that a sub 1 that we need. Okay? So let's do the math. That's a 4. 5 take away 1 is 4 times 6 plus a sub 1 equals 19. Let's solve for a sub 1. That's going to be a sub 1 plus 24 equals 19. Subtract 24, subtract 24. What do I end up with? A sub 1 equals what? A sub 1 equals negative 5. I want to write it up here. And now that we know a sub 1 and that common difference of 6, now I could actually write my arithmetic a sub nth rule of this arithmetic sequence. So let me make a little bit of space here. Let me write it over here on the side. A sub n equals my first term, negative 5, plus parenthesis n minus 1 times that common difference, 6. Let's distribute. 6n minus 6, bring down the plus negative 5. Combine the first number with the last number. Negative 5 take away 6 is a negative 11. Put the 6n in front, and this is the a sub nth rule. 6n minus 11 is the a sub nth rule. Now, let's say you're doubting yourself. You're like, man, I don't know if I did this right. What could we do? We don't even have a list, but we do know the fifth number on that list is 19. So according to this machine, if I want the fifth number, all I have to do is plug in 5 and verify that it gives me 19, and then I'll be sure that I did it right. So 6 times 5 is 30, right? If you plug in a 5 in place of n, 6 times 5 is 30. 30 take away 11 is exactly that value, 19. Yay? Okay. So I hope we understand this. This last one was kind of challenging. All I want you to do for homework today is to go to the PDF copy of page 670, and I would like you to focus in on 20, 21, 22, and 23. It's only 4 questions. It's only 4 questions. If you don't practice, guys, even though you understood everything right now, if you don't practice tonight, by the time you get here tomorrow, you're going to forget. So let's own it by actually practicing these 4 questions tonight at home, and tomorrow we move on to the second half of this lesson.